Please be seated, members. Good evening, Honorary Aldermen, Honorary Alderwomen, members, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the annual meeting of Swale Borough Council. I've already done the please be seated bit. Emergency evacuation procedure. There is no scheduled test of the fire alarm, and if the alarm does sound, please leave the building quickly using the doors signed as fire escapes and assemble in the car park and await instructions. Fire escape there, fire escape down the road and down the corridor and opposite the lifts. Please do not use the lifts. Is there anyone in attendance that might require assistance in evacuating the building? Please raise your hand. Yeah. Wonderful. Before I hand over to the Chief Exec for apologies, I'm pleased to see Councillor Roger Clark back in the chamber. You have been missed, sir, and I'm very glad to see you here this evening. Here. Councillor Goulding. Did I see a Councillor Goulding as well? Councillor Goulding as well? Do I see you here? There we go. That's why. Sorry, you were behind the pillar. It's good to see you back as well. And again, you have been missed, so thank you very much. Great to see you. I invite the Chief Executive to give apologies.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. We've received apologies from Councillor Lloyd Bowen, Councillor Rich Lehman and Councillor Mark Tucker.
Thank you. Do those members that were in attendance agree the minutes of the full council meeting held on April the 2nd, 2025, minute numbers 777 to 788? Agreed. Wonderful. I'll sign those in a sec. Got a pen there I can look for a sec and I'll sign it. Lovely. Thank you. Do members have any interests to declare? Councillor Martin.
That will be for item 11, which is outside bodies and trusts. I'm chair of the Benstead Charities, so will not be voting.
Thank you, Councillor Martin. Any others to declare? No. All right. We can move on to item 5, the appointment of mayor. The next item on the agenda is the appointment of mayor for the forthcoming civic year. The decision to appoint a mayor-elect was taken at the council meeting on the 19th of February 2025, and it was resolved that Councillor Karen Watson be elected mayor for the civic year 2025 to 2026. I would like to invite Councillor Tim Gibson to give a short speech in support of Councillor Karen Watson's appointment.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. Once again, it's a genuine privilege to stand before you this evening in support of someone who embodies the very heart of community service for the role of Mayor of Swale, Councillor Karen Watson. I have previously extolled the virtues of Karen in support of her nomination and the qualities and attributes that she possesses. Karen has long been a champion for those less fortunate than ourselves. Her tireless work as a charity volunteer, especially through her dedicated volunteering and service to cancer research, speaks volumes about her character, her compassion, and her deep commitment to making a difference. She has never sought the spotlight, but her actions have illuminated the path for others, quietly, persistently, and always with a smile. Karen being elected as Mayor of Swale will be a reflection not just of her capabilities, but the values she represents: kindness, fairness, and a resolute belief that our community is strongest when we lift one another up. As she takes on this new role, I have no doubt that Karen will lead with the same generosity of spirit that has defined her work in the community. She understands the real lives behind the decisions we make here, the families, the vulnerable, the everyday heroes, because she has stood beside them, helped them, and fought for them. On behalf of myself and your colleagues in the Labour Group, we're extremely proud of you and inspired by you, Karen. Thank you. Thank you, Mr Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Tim Gibson. I would now like to invite Councillor Ashley Wise to give a short speech to second Councillor Karen Watson's appointment.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. I am delighted to be seconding my colleague and friend, Councillor Watson, to be the next Mayor of Swale. As Deputy Mayor for the past year and Roman Ward Councillor for the last 2, time and again, Councillor Watson has shown herself to be a diligent, hard-working and dependable representative. She is a credit to our Labour group, and I'm certain she too will be a credit to our borough as our Mayor. Here in this chamber, we have seen Councillor Watson's passion on topics dear to her heart, passion that will undoubtedly contribute to the connection she will establish and strengthen within our community, and the many incredible organisations and individuals out there working so hard for our residents right across Swale. I know how much of an honour this opportunity is for Karen. As a result, I know that she will give it her all. I'm really excited to see what the year has in store. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Wise. I propose that Councillor Karen Watson be appointed as Mayor for the civic year 2025 to 2026. All those in favour, please raise your hands. I've got to do it anyway. Any against? And any abstentions? Excellent, a unanimous one. So I believe it's going to be coming your way, Karen, whether you like it or not at this point. I will now remove my badge of office and we will adjourn for robing. Please stand.
Madam Mayor, I would invite you to read out and sign your declaration of acceptance of office.
I, Karen Watson, having been elected to the office of Mayor of the Council of the Borough of Swale, declare that I take that office upon myself and will duly and faithfully fulfil the duties of it according to the best of my judgment and ability. I undertake to observe the code which is expected of members of Swale Borough Council. There. And then I sign it. Okay. Whilst recognising that there are different faiths in the world and some do not follow a faith, but for those that would like to join in, I'd like to invite Reverend David Ridley to say a prayer.
I don't actually envy those of you who have to spend a number of hours in here in this humidity. But may I just say, actually, before I say a prayer, just say, in a sense, on behalf of the wider community, a really big thank you to all of you. I know sometimes there's a lot of cynicism and criticism that goes around, but clearly the work you do is essential and significant as well. And it's a real honour and privilege to be able to serve our community, and the difference that you can make, not least to individual lives, is immense. So a really big thank you to you all. And I shall just say a prayer as we first of all give thanks for this mayoral year past and for all that has been achieved. We give thanks for Ben, for his energy and work and enthusiasm, and for all the support and encouragement that he has given to so many during his term of office, and in return all that he has received from others. And we pray for this community of Swale, our towns and villages, and for all who work in the service of others, whether in a statutory or voluntary capacity. We give thanks for all that holds us together, and we pray that bonds of kindness, service and care may be strengthened. May we appreciate, value and affirm one another. And so as we look to the future, we pray for Karen, that she may serve our community with sensitivity, insight, diligence and integrity, offering a voice for the vulnerable and a focus for the service of us all for the common good. We ask this all before our God. Amen.
Amen. I'll just go grab something in the bag. I'll give my speech now. I can do it from sitting position, yeah? Yes. Okay. Thank you, members. Sorry, I'm a little bit nervous, as you can probably gather, so I do apologise. Firstly, I would like to thank the Reverend for the prayers at the start of my mayoral year. Now, I know there is an item tonight thanking the retiring mayor on the agenda, but I would like to take this opportunity to thank Councillor Ben Martin for his help and support during this year. It has been an absolute privilege to be your deputy mayor. You have been a pleasure to work with and a true asset to this borough. I would also like to thank all of you whose kind words and support have been greatly appreciated by myself. And I would especially want to thank the Honorary Alderman Roger Truelove, who has encouraged me and guided me in my role of Borough Councillor. In this upcoming mayoral year, I have decided that I will have who I will have for mayoral charities, and I've decided I will have 2. For those of you that know me, my choices will not be a surprise. As I revealed last year, I have experienced domestic violence in my previous relationships, but due to the love and support of my family and friends, I have survived. I hope that the people in our community will have this opportunity to no longer be hidden, to have the courage to open the door, to ask for help. So Sedida is going to be one of my charities. My other mayoral charity is one that I have a particularly strong connection with. As I look around this chamber tonight, I can see a number of people whose lives have been touched by cancer, whether personally or in their family and friends groups. I've worked both paid and voluntary for cancer research. In fact, some of the team from Faversham, who I've worked with, are here tonight. I've worked in all 3 of the shops in our borough, the superstore on Sheppey Island, which I was there on its opening day, and I'm a volunteer at the Sittingbourne shop. So my other charity will be Cancer Research UK. I hope that this mayoral year will be one of respect for others, community unity, hope, tolerance and joy. If only because Liverpool won the championship. You have my word that I will serve this council and the residents of this borough with all my heart and soul. All I ask of you, my fellow councillors, is that in this chamber we treat each other with respect, dignity, and that we abide by the codes of conduct. I look forward to serving you as your mayor and learning a lot more about this wonderful borough of Swale. I would like to confirm that my husband, Alan Watson, will be my consort in the coming year, and I ask him to come forward to receive your badge. You've got flowers to get. For a man with hay fever, this should be I would also like to announce that my mayoral cadet will be Corporal Hayes, who is from the Sheppey Squadron. So if I can ask Corporal Hayes to come up to the front so I can present you with your cadet's badge. Thank you, Corporal Hayes. I look forward to working with you. Thank you. Thank you. So item 7, we have a vote of thanks for the retiring mayor, and I call on the leader to propose a vote of thanks to the retiring mayor. Councillor Gibson.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. It's both an honour and a privilege to stand before you this evening to offer our heartfelt thanks and warmest congratulations to the Mayor of Swale for what has been an outstanding year of civic service. Over the past 12 months, the Mayor has exemplified what it truly means to be a dedicated public servant, conducting himself with integrity, compassion and an unwavering commitment to our borough, whether it's been in championing local businesses or standing side by side with community groups and charities or representing Swale with pride at events outside of the borough. Your mayoral leadership has left a meaningful and lasting mark. You have not only fulfilled the duties of your office with dignity and enthusiasm, but you've also brought people together, uniting our diverse communities and reminding us all of what we can achieve when we work together. Your ability to listen, to represent every voice and to lead with heart has made this year a shining example of civic duty in action. We've seen a mayor who's been visible, approachable and deeply connected to the people, someone who not only held office but also held our trust. On behalf of the Council, myself personally and indeed all the residents of Swale, I thank you, Councillor Martin, for your tireless dedication, your warmth and your outstanding commitment. You have made this civic year one that you can legitimately look back on with great pride and gratitude. Congratulations and thank you. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
I now call on Councillor Charles Gibson to second the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, and I'm a tough act to follow, and as I'm sure you're feeling as well. But I will say very briefly, I spoke when I nominated Councillor Martin of how pleased and excited I was that Swale was having a millennial mayor for the first time in a long time, and we are very pleased to see how that played out with a mayor who was, as Councillor Gibson discussed, approachable, energetic, playing tennis in a suit is no mean feat, going sailing last week, all takes a great deal of energy and passion, which I know we all greatly enjoyed from Councillor Martin's mayoral year and look forward to seeing of even more, I'm sure, in this year to come. Were also delighted with the firm but fair hand applied in this chamber, I think, in these fractious political times. As much kindness and order as was possible was achieved. So we are very grateful for those of us who were thoroughly chaired, as we should have been in the year just gone. We should all be enormously grateful for the fantastic work Councillor Martin, as Mayor, did in raising the profile of our hospitality businesses across the borough, but especially our fantastic hospitality businesses in Faversham, who do such a wonderful, wonderful work and produce such fantastic products. We're very lucky, and they were very lucky to have Councillor Martin as their champion this year. Finally, it would be remiss as a rugby fan in the chamber not to mention the inaugural Swale rugby match that was played on the island just a few weeks ago. It was a truly fantastic, if slightly breezy, event, and the fact that that will become part of the annual calendar going forward is a remarkable achievement for Councillor Martin's mayoral year and a real addition to the rugby and civic calendar for all of us to enjoy. I know I speak for not just my Liberal Democrat group and our Liberal Democrat family across Swale, but also the residents of Faversham and the rest of Swale in saying we are hugely grateful for the work you did, and we're very much looking forward to you being back on these benches with us, getting the work done again. Thank you very much, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Gibson. May I ask the Council, are we all agreed to this vote of thanks for the retiring Mayor? Thank you. I would like to ask the retiring Mayor to please come forward to the front to receive your shield, certificate, Mayor's badge and flowers. I hope you have many hands. Thank you, Ben. Right. Yeah. Okay. Do you want to take that? Oh, no. Shield. Your badge. And your album. Thank you. I now invite the retiring Mayor, Councillor Ben Martin, to give a speech.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, and thank you for all the support you gave me in your year as Deputy Mayor. It was much appreciated. It's a very humbling evening, and it was very humbling to hear such kind words spoken. To my mind, I was just doing the job, doing what we're supposed to be doing. In terms of what we've done over the year, I had a quick tot up with all those late ones that came in. We ended up with 150 events attended by myself and 25 by Councillor Watson as my deputy. We even got Councillor Stephen to step in for one last minute as well. So 176 mayoral engagements of one sort or another over the year. We started off with our new civic attendant, Ian, and frankly we can't do anything without our civic team, so thank you to Maria and Lorraine and Ian for all they've been doing over the year. And in terms of controlling the chamber, without democratic services, so Joe, Billy, everybody else in the Dem services team, the chief exec and Robin, there wouldn't have been any control of the meeting, so thank you for your support over the year. Certainly that last one got a bit tough. I think we had a political balance item on the agenda of every single one of our full council meetings. Please don't do that to Councillor Watson. It's just not fair on anybody. In terms of some of those events, so we started the year with cycling, of all things, and I think we finished the year with cycling. We started the year with the sponsored cycle of Mr Gay GB finalist over on the island in Snap Fitness, and finished up with the Mayor's cycle ride across France and Belgium. I'm so glad that I wasn't cycling is the first thing I'm saying on that one, given how sore I think I would have been. We've had many highlights, from bringing back Sittingbourne Carnival to the inaugural Swale ladies rugby game, where all three teams came together to play against sides from others, and they've agreed to continue that tradition going forward, moving the venue across the borough between the three main rugby clubs, so Sheppey, Faversham and of course to Sittingbourne, when they have a clubhouse, because you can't have rugby without a beer in your hand, apparently. It's just not right. I think we can look back in terms of some of those other events. So, as has already been alluded to, there was the tennis. They got me in tennis in my boots and suit. There was hockey. There was rugby. There was, crikey, how many dances in the end? All those carnival court selections. And there was obviously the cycling, rugby, hockey. I'm trying to think what else we've missed. Oh, sailing. So it was my privilege, and Ian came along with me over the last couple of days to, at the invitation of Jade and my mayoral cadet, to have a sail over at Sheppey, which was very pleasant. Could have used a little bit more wind. It's the only time this year I think we've ever said that. The rest of the year's been relatively windy. There are so many highlights from the year, and I'm sure many of you will have seen the photos throughout. I want to try and keep things as short as I can, so in terms of some thank yous just for those who assisted with some of the mayoral events, our first big one in terms of trying to raise funds was the Criterion and Eastchurch Aviation Museum. I took a group of mayors from across the county and some from London to the Aviation Museum and then on to the Criterion for some fish and chips and some light entertainment. To say they enjoyed it is an understatement. Many of them have been back to the island since, and many of them are hoping that it becomes a feature of future mayoral years, given that the Mayor of Bromley always hosts an event at Biggin Hill towards the end of the year. They see it as a good bookend, the start of aviation here in Swale and aviation in its modern form with Bombardier's workshops at Biggin Hill. We then move to where we had the quiz night and the wine tasting and vineyard tour. So huge thank you to the Key and to Brenley Vineyard for their support over this civic year. I don't think we'd have raised anywhere near what we have without the two of, particularly without the Key. And of course the Sheppey Rugby Club Day, where we had the ladies team. I will point out that I did max out the, did finish top on the tackleometer. Much to people's disgust. Sorry, sorry, they're the Mayor of Faversham for that one, but the 130 did take the top spot. Thank goodness. So with that, I think I'm there or thereabouts. I will do some quick presentations if I may. So the first one is for you, Madam Mayor. It is my thank you for my deputy. I could not have done it without you, so I will come and present you with your shield. And And if I can ask my mayoral cadet to come forward, please. Jaden Smith. Now, Jaden may be wearing blues today, but I understand it's a very quick change to the greens of the Royal Marine Cadets before the year is out, so could be one of the last times we see him in the blues. Thank you so much. Fantastic year. That's yours to keep. A wonderful day. And enjoy the new uniform. And if I can have Nick and Tan from the Key come forward, please. Given the amount of fundraising work they've done, not just for myself, but for, I want to say 3 mayors of Faversham now, or 3 years running for the Mayor of Faversham, the events that they've put on, the support they've given, has made a huge difference fundraising-wise for many, many organisations. So for this, I want to give a special certificate of appreciation for your fundraising efforts over the year.
Cheers, mate.
And my final one from me is a thank you to the person who has been there to support, whether in person, on the phone, or via a text. Always there, reminding me what I need to do and why I'm doing it. So I wanted to give a huge thank you to my consort for the year, Miss Justine Gringoire. And I didn't butcher the name. If you want to come forward. I believe with that, Madam Mayor, I can hand back to yourself. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Councillor Martin. The next item on the agenda is the appointment of Deputy Mayor. The decision to appoint a Deputy Mayor-elect was taken at the Council meeting on the 19th of February 2025, and it was resolved that Councillor Derek Carnell be elected Deputy Mayor for the civic year 2025 to 2026. I invite Councillor Sarah Stephen to give a short speech in support of Councillor Derek Carnell's appointment.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. It's a pleasure to nominate Derek as Deputy Mayor. He is a very hard-working councillor within his community, especially with his lovely over-50s group, Camara, that I visited on a couple of occasions as Mayor and was made extremely welcome, especially on their 20th anniversary celebration party last year. Derek will make a very kind and caring Deputy Mayor. Myself and the SIA group fully support Derek's nomination, and we hope he enjoys his year as Deputy Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Stephen. I would like to invite Councillor Tom Nundy to give a short speech to second Councillor Derek Carnell's appointment. Councillor Nundy.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. It is an honour to second Councillor Carnell to be Deputy Mayor for the following year. I think that Councillor Carnell has lived a life where he has served the public in one form or another, and that is something that he is continuing to do now as a councillor and now as Deputy Mayor. I think that that role is more than just about the ability to chair a meeting and read reports. I think it's about leadership, advocacy, high standards of conduct, loyalty, and being an ambassador, not just for this chamber, but for every resident that lives in the borough. And I can think of no greater person for that job than Councillor Carnell. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Nundy. So we will have a vote on whether that is approved. All those in favour of the appointment of Councillor Derek Carnell as Deputy Mayor, please show. Any against? Any abstentions? Thank you. Councillor Derek Carnell, if you'd like to come up, please.
Go to your
I can confirm that Councillor Derek Carnell has been appointed as Deputy Mayor for the civic year 2025 to 2026.
Councillor Carnell, I invite you to read out and sign your declaration of acceptance of office, which I'll bring to you.
I, Derek Carnell, having been elected to the office of Deputy Mayor of the Council of the Borough of Swale, declare that I will take that office upon myself and will duly and faithfully fulfil the duties of it in accordance to the best of my judgment and abilities. I undertake to observe the code which is expected of members of Swale Borough Council. Thank you very much. Right. So the Mayor's going to invite you to speak.
If I could invite the new Deputy Mayor, Councillor Derek Carnell, to announce your consort for the year, please.
I would like to announce that my Deputy Mayor consort will be Mrs. Patricia Carnell. Would Mrs. Carnell please come forward? What are flowers for her? No. Thank you. You can go and sit down now. Stop shaking. Yeah, that's it.
Thank you. In Councillor Ben Martin's expedience to sit down, he forgot to present the cheques to his two charities. So I'd like to invite him to present the cheques. Thank you.
Thanks for the reminder on that one, Councillor Watson. We've had a pretty good year on the fundraising front, and we have still got funds coming in. So these are provisional, and they are the minimums that these charities will be receiving. So if I could ask representatives of Satida to come forward first of all, please. Say absolute minimum. Nice cheque for £4,500 for you.
Thank you.
And if I could ask representatives of Lupus UK to come forward, please. And again, we've got a cheque for £4,500 for you too. Thank you for allowing me that, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Martin. So thank you. I would like to now call a 10-minute comfort break. Please be back in the room by 5 to 8. Otherwise, I'll start without you. Thank you. Thank you. Please sit. Please do whatever you're going to do. And I've left my glasses in the mayor's pile. Yeah, please. They're not on my head. So I suddenly realised I've not got my glasses, so I can't see a thing at the moment. Thank you. Anyone got a magnifying glass? I'll be all right. Thank you. Oh, that's better. I can see you all now. So is everybody... Well, I don't care. Right, so using my discretion, I will change the order of the agenda, bringing forward item 15, election of leader. I will now ask the Chief Executive to explain the process of the election of leader.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Each group leader, in order of size of group, will be asked if they have a nomination to put forward for leader, and if so, the name of their nomination. A seconder will then be sought. Once each nomination has been put forward, the name of each proposed member will be read out in alphabetical order, and members will be asked to vote for their favoured nomination. Once each member of the council has voted, the member with the highest number of votes is elected as leader.
Thank you. So may I ask the group leader of the Labour group to please, if you have a nomination, put it forward.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'd like to nominate Tim Gibson. Thank you.
Do I have a seconder for that nomination?
Yes, I'd like to second that, please, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Like to ask, I presume, is it Councillor Hunt for the Conservative Party? Have you got a nomination for leader, please?
No, we don't. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Hunt. Councillor Baldock, have you got a nominee for leader?
We don't.
Thank you, Councillor Baldock. Councillor Perkin, do the Liberal Democrats have a nominee?
No.
Thank you. Councillor Richard Palmer, does the Reform Party have a nominee?
No, Madam Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. This is going to be very quick. Councillor Gould, does the Green Party have a nominee?
No, we don't.
Thank you. Therefore, we will have a simple show of hands vote. The only nominee I have is Councillor Tim Gibson. All those in favour of Councillor Tim Gibson, please show. Thank you. Any against? And do I have any abstentions? Thank you. I announce now that Councillor Tim Gibson is the leader of the council for 2025-26, and I invite the leader to give a short speech and advise who their deputy leader will be. Councillor Gibson.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, and thank you, fellow members and councillors who supported my nomination there. It is appreciated. I don't take it lightly. I do take the job very seriously, and I will always do my best, not just for the people of Sittingbourne where I serve, but for the wider Swale. And let's just hope in the tough times that we've got ahead, we can just all bond together far, far better and work together for the good of the residents of this borough. Thank you very much indeed.
Councillor Tim Gibson, would you like to advise as to who your deputy leader will be, please?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. My deputy leader will be Councillor Ashley Wise. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Tim Gibson. Item 9 is the establishment of committees and their terms of reference. If I can ask the Chief Executive to explain this, please.
So, thank you, Madam Mayor. We have not received a political balance which had been agreed by the group leaders. We have devised, using the usual method, a mathematical solution, which is as follows. On policy and resources, there will be 5 Labour councillors, 3 Conservatives, 2 SIAs, which is a reduction of 1 as they have the lowest rounded entitlement, 2 Liberal Democrats, 2 Reform UK, 1 Green and no Independent. This will be 15. On economy and property, we have Labour will have 5 seats, Conservatives 3, SIA 3, Liberal Democrats 1, which is a loss of 1 seat, Reform UK 2, Greens 1, Independent will have no seat. Environment and climate change, Labour 5, Conservatives 3, SIA 3, Liberal Democrat 2, Reform UK 1, Reform UK lose a seat and the SIAs gain a seat, and Green 1, Independent none. Housing and communities will be 5 for Labour, 3 for the Conservatives, 3 for the SIAs, 2 for the Liberal Democrat, 1 for Reform UK having lost a seat, 1 for Green, none for Independent. On licensing committee, there'll be 5 Labour, 4 Conservative, 2 SIA, the SIA having lost a seat, 1 Liberal Democrat, have also lost a seat, 2 for Reform, 1 for Green, 1 for Independent, and the shortfall seat there will have been gained by the Conservatives to give them 4. On planning committee, 5 for Labour, 4 for Conservatives, 3 for SIA, 2 for the Liberal Democrats, 2 for Reform UK, 1 for Greens, none for the Independents. On audit, 3 for Labour, 2 for the Conservatives, 1 for the SIAs, 1 for the Liberal Democrats, 1 for Reform UK, 1 for Green, none for the Independents, and on that the SIAs have lost a seat. On standards, 4 for Labour, 2 for Conservatives, 2 for the SIAs, 1 for the Lib Dems, 1 for Reform UK, 1 for Green, none for the Independents. And on the Urgent Decisions Committee, 2 for Labour, 2 for the Conservatives, 1 for the SIA, 1 for the Liberal Democrats, 1 for Reform UK, none for Green and none for the election. That is the technical, mathematical. That isn't necessarily what members, we're not telling members that's what it should be. What we're saying is that is what the mathematical solution is. And all of the group leaders or their representatives have been spoken to about this. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. I now invite the leader to present the report and propose the recommendation.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. So this agenda item is to establish the committees of the Council for municipal year 25-26 and agree their terms of reference as set out in Appendix 1. I therefore, having heard our Chief Executive's submission, propose that that's the direction that we take. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Sorry. Councillor Baldock.
Point of order. I'm confused. I thought this was that would be agenda item 10, to agree the political balance calculation and allocate seats as agreed. This is about establishing the committees and their terms of reference, so I'm a little confused.
I apologise, Councillor Baldock, that's down to me. I've skipped one. We will establish the allocation of seats, numbers, and then we will go back to establishing the committees. Sorry. Be gentle with me. Okay. So, I go back to...
So members, it's agenda item 10 that we're taking first.
No.
Sorry, 9. Sorry, apologies. Agenda item 9, which is to establish the committees of the Council for the municipal year 25-26 and agree their terms of reference as set out in Appendix 1. Thank you.
Thank you. I invite the Deputy Leader to second the recommendation and ask if you would like to speak now or reserve your right.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I second this and reserve my right. Thank you.
Thank you. One amendment has been received within the deadline, circulated to members and published on the Council website. 2 further amendments to the amendment were received outside of the deadline, but in accordance with Procedure Rule 3.1.16.4, I will allow the late amendments. Now that the recommendation has been proposed and seconded, I would firstly invite Councillor Elliot Jays to propose and speak on his amendment. Councillor Jays.
Madam Mayor, may I propose an amendment at this stage?
I'll just take some advice on that, Councillor Gould. Councillor Gould, I'd like to hear what your amendment is, and then I will make my ruling on it. Thank you.
My amendment is to the amendment was to include the Climate Change Committee title in the establishment of the committees, as in the amendment to agenda, the first amendment that's been published. The amendment stated to remove the Climate Change Committee from the title. I would like to see that put back in there. Yeah. Yeah. So that the
is there a seconder for that amendment? Thank you, Councillor Thompson. Can I ask the proposer of the first amendment whether you'd be willing to accept that amendment of your amendment to the amendment?
I believe so, Madam Mayor. I will include it in my speech. I accept.
Is that all right with the seconder to the amendment of the amendment?
Madam Mayor, that is more than agreeable.
Does that have the general agreement of the room to agree the amendment of the amendment? Thank you. Okay, so it will now stand as amended. Councillor Jays, would you like to put forward your amendments, please?
Do you wish me to read my amendment?
If you would read your amendment now that it's been amended, I would appreciate it.
Okay, so thank you, Madam Mayor. Amendment to Agenda Item 9, Establishment Committees and their Terms of Reference. Item 9, amendment. I'd like to change the Environment and Climate Change Committee to the Environment, Leisure and Climate Change Committee. Move cemeteries from P&R Committee to the Environment, Leisure and Climate Change Committee, and move from Health and Communities and possibly Housing to the Environment, Leisure and Community Committee, Leisure and Sports, Play Areas and Outdoor Fitness Equipment, Parking, Heritage and Conservation, including closed churchyards. That's the first amendment.
Thank you, Councillor Jays. Do I have a seconder for that? I do, don't I? Councillor Nundy, would you like to speak now or reserve your right?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I believe Councillor Jays needs to speak first, though.
Sorry, Councillor Jays.
No, sorry, necessary. Thank you, Madam Mayor, and how good the roll and robes look on you. I hope flattery will get me everywhere. Madam Mayor, my first amendment is on the committee's names and functions. Following the change of committees from 4 service committees and P&R to 3 service committees and P&R, we were told this was happening to save money and deliver efficiencies. I believe my amendment will help deliver more efficiencies of officers' time, My amendment proposes aligning our free service committees with the free heads of service under the Regeneration and Neighbourhoods Directorate. This will cut down on time spent in meeting with members, i.e. one-to-ones that happen monthly. Therefore, everything that comes under one head of service, such as environment and leisure, will come under this committee. Everything that comes under health and housing head of service will come under that committee, etc. The name change reflects the heads of services roles and responsibilities. This will mean officer teams are not attending lots of different committee meetings and will only need to focus on one set of committees each quarter. My amendment will lead to increase in focus on delivery rather than spending time across meetings and committees. If members do really agree with saving officers time and money for our residents, as well as delivering efficiencies with services for our residents, I know you will vote with me. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Jays. I invite Councillor Tom Nundy to second the amendment. Would you like to speak now or reserve your right?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I will second the amendment and I will reserve my right.
Thank you, Councillor Nundy. I now invite Councillor Angela Harrison to propose her amendment to the amendment of the amendment.
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Sorry, Councillor Harrison. We're just going to have an explanation.
So just very quickly to explain what's going to happen in terms of process now. So you have a substantive motion for which there is an amendment which would amend the substantive motion, which is Councillor Jay's motion. However, you have two further amendments which are intended to amend Councillor Jay's amendment. So in accordance with the Constitution, we will take both of those amendments in turn. So it's been proposed and seconded, but now we're going to debate the first amendment and see if that stands or falls, and then the second amendment and see if that stands or falls, and then we will go back to the amendment of the substantive and see if ultimately the substantive gets to stay the same or gets to be amended. Clear as mud, everybody?
Yeah.
Trust me, it's in the Mayor's papers. It will work if we just go with it.
Point of order, that
Councillor
can't
Baldock.
work. That can't. Sorry. If we take the first amendment and then theoretically pass it, we then take a second amendment which changes that amendment. The amendment needs to be made to the amendment. We need to take the proposed amendment to the amendment as part of the debate on the amendment if it is proposed within that discussion. Otherwise, what you're doing is you're voting on the same thing twice within one meeting. So I think you've got to take them both to get. There's an amendment put forward, there's a counter amendment. They have to be discussed together. The counter amendment gets voted on, it then falls or is carried and becomes a substantive amendment. Then the second amendment is discussed. You can't do one and let it fall and then have another one and let it fall. That doesn't make sense at all.
Councillors, if you'd like to hold on a moment, please. Councillor Jays.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I hope to solve this for you. If you wish me to add to my amendment that the former Housing and Health Committee will henceforth be called Housing, Health and Community Committee, I'm more than happy to do that to solve this issue.
Thank you, Councillor Jays. Does Councillor Nundy agree with that proposal?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Yes, that's fine.
Does that sort out Councillor Harrison's or yours?
Councillor Harrison.
Councillor Harrison would have one amendment to the amendment.
Councillor Harrison, are you happy with that proposal?
To be perfectly honest, Madam Mayor, not that it's been moved yet, but I would have thought that Councillor Perkin was going to amend hers to make it the Housing, Health and Communities Committee, which means that you've got two on the table that you look at. Thanks.
There will be an exam on this later. Councillor Noe.
Thank you. If the First Amendment falls, then the other amendments cannot be brought forward. You can't amend an amendment that no longer exists if it's voted down. Thank you.
No, the First Amendment isn't being taken. The First Amendment is paused whilst you look at the amendment to the amendment, and you're dealing with the First Amendment to the amendment and seeing if that stands, and then the Second Amendment to the amendment, and then you go back to the amendment of the substantive. That's what that does.
Councillor Whiting.
Just a point of order, Madam Mayor, if it helps. I think the amendment, the short amendment we've just heard, has been accepted by the proposer and the seconder of the original amendment. I think the council needs to take a vote to accept that, and then that one can be then done and dusted. But we need to take a vote on that one before we move on. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Whiting. I think what we need to do is take a vote on Councillor Harrison's amendment.
Well, no, Councillor
Jays has accepted that.
Accept the amendment, so the amendment would be changed.
So we need a vote to ratify it.
So if they agree that that's it's taken out of the
right. So are we agree? Councillor Harrison, are you happy?
They've adopted your
wording. I've caught him in the middle of.
I think so.
Right, thank you. It's going to be a long night. Does that have the agreement of the room? Thank you, councillors. So we're now down to Councillor Perkins' amendment. Councillor Perkins.
Thanks, Madam Mayor. Well, I am going to have to obviously propose an amendment to my amendment to the amendment, which will include the word health in the move from housing, health and communities committee, which is on the paper as housing and communities. So our amendment is to change the substantive amendment to read amendments to agenda item 9, establishment of committees and their terms of reference. Item 9, establishment of committees and their terms of reference, responsibility for function. Amend Environment and Climate Change Committee to be called Environmental Service and Climate Change Committee. Move cemeteries from Policy and Resources Committee to Environmental Services and Climate Committee. Move from Housing, Health and Community Committee to Environmental Service and Climate Change Committee, Parking, Heritage and Conservation, including closed churchyards. Now, the reason why we have proposed this amendment is because obviously we were going to put climate change in there, but that's already been done, so we won't cover that. But leisure and sport and play areas have always really been key parts of health and wellbeing. It was previously in the health and wellbeing portfolio in the previous cabinet system, and both are hugely important to the wider determinants of health, providing both free outdoor exercise for adults and children and paid for services. The leisure contract will be a significant piece of work, and it is at a really pivotal stage of development thanks to officers and members of the working group. The commitment to reducing health inequality is one of the most significant criteria in the process of what comes next, and our leisure centres, so keeping them within the committee that oversees health makes the most sense. I don't know if we're covering point 2 of the amendment originally.
Hasn't been moved.
I assumed it was part of the same amendment, but that's absolutely fine if we're going to do that bit. But yeah, it makes sense to keep leisure, play areas and outdoor fitness within the committee, which now we've established has got the oversight of health for many reasons, but mainly because they are one of our most significant areas that we're able to influence the wider determinants of what makes people healthy or unhealthy. So it makes most sense for that to continue under that committee. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Perkin. I invite Councillor Angela Harrison to second the amendment. Would you like to speak now or reserve your right?
I'll formally second and reserve my right. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Harrison. I now open the debate for members to speak on the amendment. I can see hands shooting up everywhere. Councillor Baldock.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I don't support the amendment to the amendment. I think it's important that we have leisure in the title of a committee that deals with leisure, and I think it is sensible that it goes under environmental services. Yes, there's a health aspect to it, but there's also a huge environmental aspect to it. You've got to look at open spaces, protected green spaces. All these are important elements of leisure, and it's more than just health. So I don't think the amendment is helpful by moving them out. Leisure and sports, play areas and outdoor fitness equipment have to go together. And I think that keeping them in health and housing is counterproductive and doesn't look at the full impact of them. So I wouldn't support this amendment to the amendment. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Baldock. Councillor Nundy, please.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I don't support the amendment to the amendment because the amendment was about bringing in line so that you'd only have one officer having to attend each service committee. This kiboshes that completely and removes the opportunity to save money, to save time and ultimately to protect resources. So for that reason, I won't be voting in favour of it. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Nundy. Councillor Whiting.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I too won't be supporting the amendment to the amendment for the reasons given. I think that bringing, as the original amendment does, bringing those sort of tied services together under one team within the council and one committee in the council is the most sensible and obvious thing to be doing, and to muck about with that seems to me just mucking about for the sake of it. So I won't be supporting it. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Whiting. Any more for any more? No. Councillor Harrison, you reserved your right. I please invite you to speak.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I have heard the comments about saving officer time, and I've made a note. I've made a note of the people who said them, so I'm very hopeful that when I propose we go down to 2 committees, that all those members will be supporting the saving of officer time. I've made a note and I'll expect you to vote that way. The new leisure contract, and by the way, leisure was not in the title of the committee before, it was called communities. The new leisure contract, a key part of that, as I'm sure reps on the working group will have reported back to their groups, a key part of that will be health inequalities and health and well-being. And what will you as a contractor be putting in your tender to actually aid and abet our residents in improving the health and well-being of themselves and their families and the wider residents? It's all about the wider determinants, as Councillor Perkins said. The wider determinants of health, frankly, they should all be under health, housing and communities, because they all fit in with it. It's a jigsaw. They all cover it. I think when this went to Policy and Resources and then full council, it was about amalgamating. Did you hear that word? Amalgamating the Communities Committee with housing and health. Nobody at that time said, oh no, well, can we put this bit here and that bit there? No, it's just another spoiler to actually stack things up for people who want to look after pet projects. If we're looking at how it's going to work properly for our residents, then you will be supporting the proposal put forward by Councillor Perkins and seconded by myself. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Harrison. I'd like to now ask members to vote on this amendment of the amendment.
So actually, the amendment, the original amendment gets a right of reply.
Oh, sorry. Councillor Jays, you have a right to reply.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I hope to not be such a thorn in your side for the rest of your mayoralty. Just to correct one thing, leisure has been in the title for at least 1 or 2 years. It's been community and leisure, and that was my original proposal. I originally also put climate change into the environmental portfolio. As said, this is to make committees line up with the relevant heads of service and to cut down on wasted officers' time. We've heard much talk about the leisure contracts. I'm not proposing any changes to the level working group unless group leaders change their representatives. So both the proposer and seconder should remain on the working group. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Jays. So I will now ask members to vote on the amendment to the amendment. All those in favour, please show. All those against? Do we have any abstentions? No. So the amendment has been carried. Can I please ask members to now debate the First Amendment, although Councillor Jays, you did have a second bit to your amendment. Is that a separate amendment? Oh, this is...
I would say so, Madam Mayor.
So okay, so Councillor Jays, would you like to put forward point 2 of your amendment, or would you like it discussed in the First Amendment?
Madam Mayor, when I submitted them as separate amendments so that we discuss 1, hence the number in 1, and then 2, and then I believe I numbered my later amendment number 3. So to me it was a separate amendment to be voted on separately.
Okay, thank you, Councillor. So I would now ask members to debate the First Amendment.
Point of order, Madam Mayor. Sorry, but the amendment that was tabled to us had a part 1 and a part 2.
Yep.
Underneath A, B, C and D is a part 2. So are we saying, because that wasn't discussed and Councillor Perkin tried to indicate this, is this no longer on the table and it is solely as amended minus any reference to a communications working group? That's what I just think members need clarification about. Thank you.
Councillor Jays?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I've just checked my email to Democratic Services and I sent it in separately, 1, 2, 3. We've got 1 and 2 here, and on the timetable is my third amendment to the night.
Councillor Baldock.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. On the paperwork that was sent out to us, it says amendments, plural, to agenda item 9. And then it has amendment item 1, which we are sort of in the middle of discussing. And then the second amendment is a separate amendment, because it says amendments, plural.
Yeah, point of order, Madam Mayor. All of these say amendments to agenda item 9 as tabled. Thank you.
Right, so I'm going to do it as a separate amendment. So if we can, members, anyone would like to debate the first part of the amendment? Councillor Hunt, I saw your hand up first.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. And congratulations, Madam Mayor. It's good to see you sitting in that seat, and I'm sure you wish you hadn't done. This, how it's going so far, just shows what an absolute mess you can make of things, and bringing things like this to this committee when full council have already agreed what we're going to be doing, what committee it's going to be, and now we're going backward and forward with amendments to amendments and amended amendments, just makes a complete mockery of the system that we've got. There are ways to deal with this outside of this meeting. We've got a constitution working group. Sit down, even group leaders, talk about it, look what we're going to be bringing to a meeting, and then come up with something properly. Going backward and forwards to do it like this is the wrong way. And the Conservative group will be voting against this. Go and deal with it properly and come back later. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Hunt. Is there anyone else who'd like to discuss this amendment? Okay, so Councillor Nundy, you reserved your right. So you'd like to speak on part 1 of the amendment, please.
The substantive amendment,
Substantive amendment.
that has been amended.
That has been amended.
No.
Thank you. When do I discuss the second part?
So just now we do the first part and then we go on to the second.
To vote on this.
Right. Okay, so I'll ask the leader.
So it's that you vote on, everyone's reserved their right.
Point of order, Madam Mayor. Please can I find out where in the Constitution it says that we can separate parts of amendments out to be voted on separately? If it has been tabled to members as this.
So, if I may, Madam Mayor, the proposer of the amendments plural has clarified that this was not intended to be one amendment in 3 parts, but 3 entirely separate amendments, and the Mayor has already ruled that she's accepting them as 3 entirely separate amendments. So we are now going to, I believe, go to the vote on the first amendment to the substantive.
Councillor Baldock, I saw your hand go up. It's come back down again. Did you want to speak? Thank you. So, members, I think we're now in a position where we're going to vote on the amendment. Oh, sorry, Councillor Ben Martin. You're off of my peripheral, my dear. I can't see you. Councillor Ben Martin.
Sorry, Madam Mayor. Can I just have clarity as to what part 1 is? So can we have it read out so that we know what we're voting on at this point, please? Because I'm now very confused.
Yes. Councillor
And I don't envy your job today.
Thank you. Councillor Jays, if you'd like to read out the substantive amendment that has been adjusted several times. Yep. I'm sure someone's written it down for you.
Well, it depends, because I initially accepted into my amendment, the Greens amendment, but I think the substantive amendment would now read Amendment to Agenda Item 9, Establishment of Committees and their Terms of Reference. Item 9, Establishment of Committees and their Terms of Reference, Responsibility for Function. Amend Environment and Climate Change Committee to be called Environmental Services and Climate Change Committee. Move Cemeteries from Policy and Resources Committee to Environmental Services and Climate Change Committee. And move from Health, Housing and Community Committee to Environment, Services and Climate Change Committee. Parking, Heritage and Conservation, including closed churchyards.
Thank you, Councillor Jays. Is that clear for you, Councillor Martin?
It is, thank you, and you're doing excellently, Madam Mayor.
Great. Okay. So I'd like to ask members to vote on the amendment. All those in favour of the amendment, please show. Thank you. All those against, please show. Any abstentions? 2. Okay, even I was able to count that one. Therefore, the amendment has been carried. We will now debate the substantive motion. Oh, Councillor Baldock.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Just to say that we don't agree with the cutting of the count of committees. We think it's a retrograde step, and therefore we won't be supporting the substantive. Thank you.
I'd like to invite Councillor James Hunt to speak, please.
I haven't got a clue. So this is the motion, just to double check, this is the original motion that we put together. We're not now discussing the second amendment, the third.
Actually, I'll have to go back to that one.
Can you actually do the substantive until you've finished the amendments? The second?
No, you can't.
No, so you're right. Actually, we need to pause and go, okay, so it's been amended in that way. Now we need to deal with...
Right, sorry, I'm getting this all wrong. I do apologise, councillors. So I've now been advised that we need to discuss the second part of your amendment.
Point of order.
Yes,
it's
Councillor
not
Baldock.
part 2, it's a separate amendment. We have to vote now on what we've just voted on, which is the amended motion. We've voted the amended motion through. Now we've got to vote on it as the substantive.
But you're looking to change the substantive again, aren't you?
That's right,
Yeah.
So let
Robin, please.
Yes, ultimately we do need to do a vote on the substantive, but there is a second amendment to it which doesn't actually then change the thing that you've agreed to go forward. So you can actually have the amendment, which is the second amendment, which is also relevant to this part, this item, and then you can then deal with the substantive in its entirety as amended, rather than going back to the substantive twice potentially, because it might be amended again by the second amendment. Yes, the second amendment. But it doesn't change what you've agreed now the motion is. This is a second amendment to the substantive, which may change it again, so that when you go to the substantive, then you've got what it is finally, and then you'll vote on it once.
Councillor Jays, would you like to speak on your second amendment to the amendment, please?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. My proposal is that we add a communications working group to sit under the Policy and Resources Committee. I have long suggested we need to improve our comms and can say we are on the way up and we're on the right trajectory, but we need to make sure we're heading where members want us to be and where the public need us to be. I think a quarterly check-in for an hour between a working group, one member from each group, and the comms team to see what comms are planned ahead should deliver a better service for residents, and surely that's what we're all here for. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Councillor Nundy, are you seconding this amendment to the amendment?
Yes, I will second this and I will reserve my right, Madam Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Nundy. I'll now open it up to debate. Councillor Perkin.
Thanks, Madam Mayor. I just want to clarify, because the amendment that I put in assumed that it was one amendment, so I have obviously put in to scrub that sentence out of that original amendment. Now I'm missing my child's parents' evening to be here this evening, and actually there's just better things to do than argue about this, so I actually don't really care, and I'll just withdraw my scratching of that. We can add it into the substantive. It's not a hill I'm willing to die on.
Councillor Baldock.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'll keep this brief because I think people want rescuing. I support this because just one example was the idea that we should have comms for a wider diversity of festivals, and that didn't happen for a long time. Now that it has happened, it's still a bit of hit and miss, and I think that having councillors in on that is part of the improvement of communications. I think having a working group that can feed in like that, can feed in ideas and proposals, would be a really positive thing. So I think this is a beneficial working group.
Thank you, Councillor Baldock. Councillor Worcester.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'll keep this very short. I am absolutely in favour of more work around comms. I've made that very clear on lots of work that I've been doing. However, I did want to ask a question about this. Does this sit here, or does this sit for a creation of the working group through the Policy and Resources Committee itself? Because I naturally thought that the committees were responsible for their working groups. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Worcester. Councillor Hunt.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. That is exactly what I was going to say. 2.2.1.4 is the Policy and Resource Committee may establish such subcommittees under working groups as it requires and set the terms of reference. There's nothing here about terms of reference for that committee. It's the P&R that deal with the subcommittees, and it should be that committee that deals with it. So I will be against it this evening for putting it in here. Again, another one of those things, we're referring things into this meeting and not looking at it properly.
Thank you, Councillor Hunt.
So, Councillor Hunt, you're quite correct that the P&R committee, as along with all committees, can and is empowered under the Constitution to create further subcommittees and working groups in order to meet its remit. However, this is full council, and in relation to a committee-run full council, all power in the committee structure derives from full council. So, if full council wants to appoint P&R committee or working group, it can.
Councillor Ben Martin.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I think, first of all, we should be quite thankful for the communications that we already have. The officers in that team already do an awful lot of work at all sorts of times and hours of the day and across the weekends. So firstly, a thank you to the communications team for the work that's already being put in. I know certainly over this weekend, Rebecca Dart was pretty much taking messages and putting them out almost straight away. From 7 a.m. through till 10 p.m. most of the weekend. So a big thank you to the comms team for that. I can't support this because I think it should be for P&R to set this up. I quite understand where the will is coming from and the need to improve and whatnot. There's always room for improvement. But let's let P&R set that working group or subcommittee up when it first meets.
Thank you, Councillor Martin. Councillor Harrison.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Could I apologise, because when I spoke earlier, what I should have said first of all was congratulations.
Thank you.
The second point is, I don't always remember what I've read and inwardly digested, but didn't we have a customer access strategy which talked about things like how we communicate with our customers and each other and all the rest of it? Maybe I'm dreaming it, but I would have thought that there was stuff in there about how we move forward and any changes and all the rest of it. And if we have gone out to consultation with our public, should we not get that back and actually look at any recommendations from said public who we represent, as opposed to, well, we've consulted you, now we're going to do what we want? I say I might have made it up, but I have a vague feeling that it's in there somewhere.
Thank you, Councillor Harrison. Councillor Nundy, you reserved your right to speak on this.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Yeah, I think Councillor Jay summed it up pretty well. I mean, it's quite short, and I don't think you'd really be able to speak war and peace about this. I think communications are good. I think what Councillor Martin said earlier is true. There is good communications that go out over the weekend. We're not denying that it's good, but we would like it to be better, and we'd like to have more of an input about the type of comms that go out. As Councillor Baldock said, different festivals that sometimes get missed because we live in a far more diverse society now than I think we ever had, and it might be more beneficial to have a communications working group. So thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Nundy. I believe now we're going to come to the vote on this second amendment. Sorry, I could see you wanting to say something, Councillor Jays.
Yes, do I not have a right to sum up at the end?
This isn't the substantive motion. Okay. Councillor Jays, off you go.
Short and sweet. As said, I think comms are on the right trajectory, but we just need a bit more members' input. Members were making something out of that committees can establish their own working groups, but we have on the table here, as we've had every year, that we're going to set up a planning and transportation policy working group to go under P&R. So this is in our powers. I think this is the right place to do it. We're setting ourselves up for the next year, and I hope people will vote for it.
Thank you, Councillor Jays. I think we will now go to the vote on the second part of the amendment. Second amendment. All those in favour, please show.
I've got 10 the second time. 10.
Thank you, members. All those against? And do I have any abstentions? Thank you. 2. Therefore, that amendment to the amendment falls. So
we're on to the substantive amendment. Sorry, no, the substantive motion. We've actually got the substantive motion now.
So we will now debate the substantive motion. Councillor Hunt, I invite you to speak, please.
Same comments as earlier. Thank you.
Thank you. Short and sweet, that's what I like. Councillor Baldock, I invite you to speak, please.
That's very kind of you. I didn't have my hand up. I will repeat the fact that we don't agree with the cutting of the service committees, so I won't be supporting this one.
Councillor Perkin? No. Councillor Richard Palmer?
Nothing to add, Madam Mayor. Thank you.
Councillor Gould?
Nothing to add, Madam Mayor.
Do I have any other members that want to discuss this? No? Excellent. I now invite the Deputy Mayor to speak as he reserved his right. Deputy Leader, Deputy Speaker, sorry.
Thank you very much.
I want to go home.
Councillor Carnell can speak if he wants. Thank you very much, Madam Mayor. I'm very happy to second this so that we can go to the vote. Thank you.
Then we will now vote on the recommendation by show of hands. All those in favour, please show. Thank you. All those against? Nine. And do we have any abstentions? No. Members, the recommendation has been agreed. Thank you. Yep. Thank you. So it's item 10 now, isn't it? Yep. So the next item on this agenda, if I've got it right, is the allocation of seats and committee appointments for 2025-26. The appendices have been published on the council website and circulated to members. Please confirm that you've all seen the appendices. Thank you. Councillor Baldock.
I haven't seen Appendix 3, the membership of Joint Transport Board nominations.
What, that one? That one. Okay.
Would you like to ask if he wishes to give his nomination?
Do you wish to give your nominations now, Councillor Baldock?
Well, I'm a bit confused because this has always been done at the leader's behest. So how are we doing this? Because the Conservatives never got one in the past. How are we doing this? Is it going to be one per group, or is it going to be not nominate as many as you like and see what you get, or can we have some guidance? I did ask for this earlier this afternoon.
I will get you some guidance, Councillor Baldock.
Madam Mayor, if I may, to help. The Conservative group don't wish to have a seat. Thank you.
Madam Mayor, can I make a proposal? I hope to be in my own bed, Madam Mayor. Can I propose that we have 2 Labour representatives, 2 SIA, the Conservatives don't want, Greens can have 1, Lib Dems can have 1 and Reform have 1. I think that's quite fair. Thank you. And I think the leader's more than happy with that.
Councillor Perkin? Do the Liberal Democrat group want one?
Not that the Liberal Democrat group don't value the work of the Joint Transportation Group, but it meets at a time which is not really helpful for people that have jobs, so we won't be taking up that position.
Thank you. Councillor Baldock?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I haven't discussed this with him earlier, but as somebody who has a lot of experience and is very knowledgeable about this, I would invite Councillor Whiting to indicate if he would like to sit on it.
I'd be happy to, Madam Mayor.
Yep. Okay. Yep. Looks like you've just got yourself a seat. So what have we got? Councillor Baldock, do you know who your committee members will be?
I think we haven't had a denial yet from Derek Cardell and Paul Stephen.
Councillor Richard Palmer, can I ask who the one representative from Reform will be?
Councillor Peter MacDonald. Mayor.
Thank you very
Madam Mayor,
much.
thank you.
Yes. The Chief Executive will now read out the members of that group. Transportation.
Okay, so we have councillors for Labour. We have councillors Clark, Simon Clark, Simon Clark and Karen Watson. For Green, we have Gould. For Reform UK, we have Peter MacDonald. For SIAs, we have Derek Carnell and Paul Stevens. And for as an independent, we have Councillor Mike Whiting.
Thank you. Everybody happy with that? Thank you very much. I now invite the leader to propose the recommendations, please. Councillor Tim Gibson. He's just writing frantically. Item 10.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Again, fairly straightforward, so I'll cut to the chase on it. The Council is asked to agree the political balance calculation set out in Appendix 1. The Chief Executive has set out a technical solution to the political balance of the allocations of committee seats and committee appointments. The recommendation 1, to agree the political balance calculation as was set out by Chief Executive. The Council is asked to allocate seats to those committees and to agree the appointments of members to those committees in accordance with the wishes of group leaders. And the Council is asked to agree group nominations to Swales membership of the JTB, which we have just done. Thank you. In recommendation 2, I would ask the group leaders to confirm who will be their members of each committee.
Thank you. I'd like to invite the Deputy Leader to second the recommendations. You may speak now or reserve your right.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'm happy to second and I reserve my right. Thank you.
Thank you. I now invite Councillor James Hunt to speak.
They're happy with it all and no nominations.
Can you tell us who's going to be on each of your committees?
Oh, sorry, the committees. You want me to read it all out?
Are there any changes? Sorry.
No, the only change obviously is that we need someone else for licensing, and that will be myself. Thank you.
Thank you. I'd like to invite Councillor Baldock to speak, please.
Yeah, I think it's great. Do you need any names from me? Oh, go on then.
What do we need?
Oh, you need somebody on this environment, climate change, not leisure anymore, don't know what it is, committee, don't you? That'll be me.
So, Councillor Baldock.
Councillor Baldock.
Could you tell us who's going to be on policy and resources, please?
Yeah, that's me and Elliot. Councillor Jays.
And on economy and property?
That's as it was put forward. Monique, Councillor Bonney, Councillor Pollard, Councillor Stephen.
Lovely. And environment and climate change and
Why do I have to go for all of these and get it wrong? Right. No, it's not you this time. I think this one is Councillor Paul Stephen, Councillor Sarah Stephen, and wrong one?
Environment, me and the Stevens.
No, it's me and the Stevens.
I'm a fighting choose best.
That's what we asked him.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, Derek down. You're on House and House. You don't want that now.
Councillor Baldock, you asked me why we were asking you.
Councillor, am I doing health and housing now?
No, you're doing environment.
Environment. Well, environment is now Councillors Stephen and Councillor Stephen and Councillor Jays.
Housing, the new name for housing and communities.
Right.
Housing, health and
This
communities.
is 3, isn't it?
Yeah.
Councillor Nundy, Councillor Pollard, and one to be announced.
Okay.
No. Derek, are you all right? If you don't want to do it, I'll do it, but... Derek will do it, yep. Derek?
Licensing as well now, isn't it? Licensing.
And licensing committee.
Carnell and Paul Stevens.
I think that's...
Stephen.
Thank you, Councillor Baldock. I think that is your lot.
Right.
Thank you. Sorry, members, can we just have the one meeting, please? Thank you. Councillor Perkin.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. There's no change to our allocations.
We haven't got anything for them,
So that's fine.
Yep, okay. So I'm going to... I'd like to invite Councillor Richard Palmer, please.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I mean, if I just read them out, policy and resources, myself, Councillor Palmer and Councillor Mishuk. Economy is Councillor Mishuk and myself again. Environment is Councillor Mishuk again. He's going to be busy. Housing and Communities is Councillor MacDonald and Councillor Chris Palmer. Licensing is Councillor Chris Palmer and Councillor Chapman. Planning Committee is Councillor Chapman and Councillor MacDonald. Audit Committee is Councillor Kieran Mishuk. Standards is Councillor Richard Palmer. Urgent Decisions is Councillor Richard Palmer, and that, I believe, is the lot, and hopefully what you've got. Thank you. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Palmer. Councillor Gould.
As in the papers, is thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Gould. Are there any other members who wish to speak on this item? No? Excellent. I'd like to ask the Deputy Leader if you'd like to speak as he reserved his right.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'll second this so that we can move to the vote. Thank you.
Thank you. I'd like to ask the Leader if he wishes to sum up.
It is done, Madam Mayor. Thank you.
We will now vote on the recommendations by show of hands. All those in favour?
I'm well over 30, so it's...
I'll just check. Are there any against or any abstentions? Then thank you. That is carried. Item 11. The next item on the agenda is the Borough Council nominations to outside bodies and trusts. Appendix 1 has been published on the Council's website and circulated to members. It sets out the nominations received from group leaders. Sorry. Thank you. There are still vacancies on 7 outside bodies and nominations will be sought. If there are more members proposed, then there are nominations to be filled. The name of each proposed member will be read out in alphabetical order and the members will be asked in turn whether their vote is for or against that member. Once each proposed member has been voted on, the member or members with the least number of votes will be removed from the list. If there are still more proposed members than nominations, the process will be repeated until the number of proposed members equals the number of nominations. Councillor Gould, I saw your hand shoot up first.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'd like to nominate Councillor Terry Thompson to the Kent Downs National Landscape Advisory Committee and also to the Lower Medway Internal Drainage Board.
Sorry, Councillor Gould, I'll stop you right there. If you don't mind, if you'll indulge me, I will go through them on the list and then when we come to the one that you want to speak on, please do. Councillor Baldock, was that something separately you wanted to discuss?
Yes, thank you, Madam Mayor. Just wanted clarity, because some of these have got, unlike the first one, Benstead, some people are there to 2029, so I assume we're not voting on those. But when we come to the charity of Sir William Steed, they're all down to 2027, and yet the nominations for last year were to 2027. So as I'm understanding this, we will only be voting on the replacement for Councillor Valls on the charity of William Steed. Would that be correct?
I believe so. I'll just take in advice.
Okay, and whilst I am asking, the Meads Woodland Group to the 17th of October 26 seems a bit odd. Can we change that to the 10th of May 2027, following the next election, which may or may not happen?
So I've got discussions going on behind me at the moment, Councillor Baldock. So I'm going to take my glasses off. I could do with some.
Sorry, we just need to do the ones in your papers. We'll go through them.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Tim. Thanks. While we're waiting, Councillor Hunt, I believe you can give us a bit of a insight into the Meads Woodland Group.
Yeah, I can give an explanation on that. It is because the constitution of the Meads Working Group requires a trustee, but it's not a charity yet, a trustee to be a member for 4 years, and it's from the adoption of that constitution, that is why the date is set as that. So it's not something that this council changes, it's the group itself that will change the constitution if the date is to change. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Hunt, for that. I appreciate it. So I'll just go through. Yeah, please do.
So the only ones that we're doing are the ones where we've got vacancies. The Mayor has a list of those in her papers and she will go through them. It was mentioned about the William Steed. The William Steed Trust automatically goes to the Milton Councillor. So that's that.
Okay, thank you very much. So my first one is Citizens Advice Service, Swale. 1 nomination is required. Do I have any nominations, please? Councillor Last.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'm happy to stand on that outside body.
Are there any other nominations? Thank you, Councillor Last.
Do you want to second it? Just take a quick vote.
Yep. Okay, so can I have a seconder then, please? Thank you, Councillor Wise.
Is it all agreed?
Is that all agreed with everyone in the meeting? Thank you, councillors. Thank you, Councillor Last. Faversham Swimming Pool Management Committee, 1 nomination is required. Do I have any nominations, please? Councillor Charles Gibson.
It was our impression that the Faversham Swimming Pools no longer requested a Swale Borough Councillor trustee as they were in negotiations. If that may be incorrect, but that was the understanding we were led to believe, so that's why we've not submitted a nomination.
We haven't been advised by Faversham Pools. That may be their view, but they haven't told us. So my advice to Madam Mayor and the council would be to nominate, and if Faversham Pools confirmed, then we can end that. But we haven't been advised from Faversham Pools.
So do I have a proposal? Councillor Gibson.
I'd be delighted to nominate Councillor C. Martin to remain the trustee then.
Do I have any other nominations? Do I have a seconder for that nomination? Thank you, Councillor Perkin. Is that agreed by the meeting? Agreed. Thank you. Thank you, Councillor Claire Martin. The next on my list is Kent and Medway Police and Crime Panel, and I need 1 nomination for that, please. Oh. Councillor Pollard.
Can I nominate Councillor Tom Nundy, please? That's for the Kent and Medway Police and Crime.
Councillor Perkin.
I would like to nominate myself.
Okay. Do I have a seconder for you, Councillor Nundy?
I'll second, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. And do I have a seconder for Councillor Perkin? Several. Thank you. Yeah. Do I have any other nominees for that?
Excuse me, Madam Mayor. Could I just clarify which body we're talking about here?
Kent and Medway Police and Crime
Okay,
Panel.
thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so we now have to have an election, do we?
Yeah,
So as I advised at the start of this item, we will now have an election. So all those in favour of Councillor Tom Nundy, please show. All those in favour of Councillor Perkin, please show. Councillor Perkin, you are now on the Kent and Medway Police and Crime Panel. My next one is Kent Downs National Landscape Joint Advisory Committee. Councillor Gould.
I'd like to nominate Councillor Terry Thompson.
I'd like to second that, Madam Mayor.
Do I have any other nominations? I only need one. So, is the meeting happy with that nomination? Agreed. Thank you. This is the exciting one. Lower Medway Internal Drainage Board. I need 3 more nominations required. Do I have any nominations, please? Councillor Marchington. Councillor Gould.
I'd like to nominate Councillor Terry Thompson again.
And Councillor Baldock.
I'd like to nominate Councillor Bonney, please.
And do I have seconders for all those nominations?
If it helps, Madam Mayor, I'll second all 3.
Thank you very much. Do I have any other nominations? Are we agreed with those 3 nominations? Thank you. Or Gunpowder Works Advisory Group. I have 2 nominations required. Do I have any nominations, please? Anybody? Councillor Perkin.
Can I nominate Councillor Eyre, please?
Thank you. Do I have a seconder?
I'll second that.
Thank you. Do I have any more nominations? There is still 1 post available. No, we will just go with the 1 then. Are we agreed with that meeting? Councillor? Oh, hold on. Councillor Baldock.
Is this a heritagey thing?
Yes.
Yeah, all right then. I'll put my name forward.
I'll second
That's what I like to see, Councillor Baldock, enthusiasm.
They're going to say everything.
Do I have a seconder for Councillor Baldock's nomination? Thank you, Councillor Thompson. So, any other nominations? Are we agreed the meeting for those 2? Agreed. Sorry, Councillor Jays, was there something we were...
Not yet, Madam Mayor.
Thank you very much. A Patrol Adjudication Joint Committee. I have 1 nomination that is required. Do I have any, please?
I'll volunteer, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Jays. Any seconders for that? Oh, loads of hands. Lovely. Anybody else want to be put forward for that? Are we agreed, meeting, that that is our nomination? Agreed. Thank you. I now invite the leader to propose the recommendation for the outside bodies, for the lot, please. Sum up, please. Oh, sorry. Councillor Perkin.
Yeah, apologies for elongating the process, but myself and Angela Harrison have Councillor Harrison have discussed Councillor Harrison coming off of Kent Health and Wellbeing Board and the local children's partnership group in Swale, and myself being the nomination instead.
Thank you, Councillor Perkin. Councillor Harrison.
Apologies, Madam Mayor. Seconded.
Is the meeting agreed with those proposals? Thank you. Sorry, Councillor Rich Palmer, was that a hand up or you just... Thank you.
You want a sandwich, didn't you?
No, you're not getting any. Do I ask the Deputy Leader? I'd like to ask the Deputy Leader, as he reserved his right, if he'd like to speak on this recommendation.
Very happy to second, and I hope you enjoy the All Gunpowder Works, Councillor Baldock. It's brilliant.
Councillor Tim Gibson, would you like to sum up?
It is done. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you very much. We will now vote on the recommendation by show of hands. All those in favour, please. It's been a long night. Unanimous? Any against? Any abstentions? Then the recommendation is through and agreed. Thank you. The next item on this agenda is the timetable for meetings for 2025-26, which must be agreed by the Council. I invite the Leader to introduce the report and propose the recommendation.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. For expediency, the recommendation is that the Council agrees a programme of meetings set out in Appendix 1 to this report. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. An amendment has been received. It's my night for amendments. Circulated to members and published on the Council website. Now that the recommendation has been proposed, has it been seconded? Councillor Wise, are you seconding this?
Very happy to second, and I would like to reserve my right, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. I now invite Councillor Elliott Jays to propose and speak on the amendment, please.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. This should be the last time you hear from me tonight. I've argued in the past that the budget meeting should not be in half-term. In fact, I've asked for meetings to be kept clear of half-terms altogether. This is for 2 main reasons. Officers and members with children, grandchildren, or even those with nieces and nephews want to spend as much of half-term with the children in their lives, rather than sit through meetings. As much as I like to see you all, I'd rather be with my family. So I'm just proposing we move it back by just a few days to avoid half-term, And the other reason is to ensure the best possible attendance of members at meetings at what is the most important meeting of the year. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Jays. I invite Councillor Tom Nundy to second the amendment. You may speak now or reserve your right.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I will second the amendment and I will reserve my right. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Nundy. For information, I must advise members that the Section 151 officer is unavailable for the week commencing the 23rd of February. I now open the debate for members to speak to the amendment. Councillor Braun.
I just wanted to say, Madam Mayor, that I do sympathise with Councillor Jays. However, we do need to get a budget out, and there is running out of time the more you push it back, and it needs to be finished and put out there.
Thank you, Councillor Braun. Councillor Hunt.
It seemed okay to us, but knowing that the Section 151 officer isn't going to be here, there's no point in doing it. So just leave it as it is and we'll be against this. Thank you.
I thought this had to happen tonight. Councillor Winkless. Long time no here.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I have concerns about moving the date of the budget. I think it should be kept roughly where it is for the time scale to actually get it approved. If there's any sort of disagreement with the budget that's put forward at that time, I think to move it later makes it very tight to get it through by the end of the financial year in time for the new financial year. So I suggest it basically stays where it is.
Thank you, Councillor Winkless. Any more for any more? Councillor Whiting.
Just a suggestion, because clearly we would want the 151 officer there, and I just wondered whether or not she would be available on the 28th, the meeting on the 28th, and we make that the budget meeting. She's not available for that either. Okay.
Sorry. Yeah. Chief Executive.
The Section 151 officers' availability was set by the fact that when we sent this original out much earlier, because we didn't get any response, then we thought that would be the date. So it's not that the Section 151 officer hasn't, tried, but is unable to, because we used the dates that went out prior. But I do accept Councillor Jay's comment, and we can try in future to see if it's possible to avoid half terms.
Thank you. Councillor Baldock.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Did I hear that the Section 151 officer will not be available on the 23rd either, if we are forced into a later date?
Yes, please.
That is correct. If we go to a second date, then rarely is there any adding up that needs to be done, and the Deputy 151 officer will be in attendance for both meetings, but will be in attendance for the second date should it be required. However, normally by that time there isn't anything that the Deputy 151 officer can't deal with admirably.
So I was just going to finish by saying, shouldn't we be looking at doing it a week earlier? And then we're all there in time, but I don't know.
Councillor Harrison.
I got the timetable of meetings, as did, I think, all 47 of us, are we now? Yeah, all 47 of us. And I looked at it as well, and I thought, I can't see any problem. That was some, I'm not going to say weeks, I think it was over a month ago. It was some time ago, and if nobody responded, what is the point of asking people, have you got a problem with this? I'm ignoring it until the last minute when I'm going to say, I want it changed. And I think going forward, I don't know how things are going to be working out with leaders and how you're going to work together. But if leaders are asked, what do you think of this? And two people reply and the rest cock a deafen, as it were, what are you supposed to do? Not make any decisions or steers or anything else? Because some people just do not respond. You know, we consult very widely with members here. There are so many things that go all members, all members, all members, any views. Well, if you've got a view, put it, reply. Thank you, Madam Mayor. Apologies, thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Harrison. Councillor Kavanagh, please.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, and congratulations. Following on from what Councillor Harrison said, when I got the provisional dates, I think they may have come from Billy. I got my diary out, I wrote in all the dates, and when we got the papers for tonight, I double-checked that they hadn't changed. I assumed everyone would have done that. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Kavanagh. Councillor Bonney, please.
Many thanks. I think I've brought this up repeatedly in the past, and it's a standing comment that I don't think you need to repeat every year about school holidays. Obviously, I look at the dates, etc., but it would be common sense that school holidays are factored in. They are advised in advance by KCC on their website, so I would encourage in future that when officers are planning dates that they look at that. Thank you.
Councillor Worcester.
Just quickly, obviously from a school's point of view, schools are in charge of, they like to get them all in time, but schools don't all operate the same school holidays. They are vastly in charge of when they take their training days. It affects parents. Myself and Councillor Jays often have this discussion about how we can make the best use of our time being active parents, but I casually warn against looking at schools' timetables as the route to when we hold our meetings, because those holidays are not set in stone and could possibly change, bearing in mind that all secondary schools are academies now in Kent, so they'd have vastly different rules. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Worcester. Councillor Nundy, you reserved your right to speak. If you'd like to speak on it, please.
Yes, thank you. I think enough has been said on this, and the knowledge that the 151 officer isn't available is quite important to the to that meeting, really. So I'll leave it at that. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Nundy. We will now vote on the amendment. All those in favour, oh, sorry, I do apologise, Councillor James. You said I wasn't going to hear from you again.
Oh dear, I prove what is true about politicians. I've previously raised this about meetings in half term, and I think we've done very well to avoid the rest of the half terms throughout the year. We are here tonight to agree, as it says, the Council agrees the programme's meeting set out in Appendix 1. I'm trying to amend that for us to agree. As said, we do have a Deputy Section 151 officer who, as has been said, can deputise admirably. And I think the budget process is going to be different this year, so hopefully we'll get out by 8 o'clock.
Not tonight, we're not. Thank you, Councillor Jays. We now vote on the amendments. All those in favour, please show. Thank you. All those against, please show. Do we have any abstentions? 3. The amendment has fallen. I did ask the Deputy Leader to second the recommendation, which he has done, so I will go straight to Councillor Hunt, please.
We're happy. Thanks.
Councillor Baldock.
Yep.
Councillor Perkin. Thank you. Councillor Richard Palmer.
Content, Madam Mayor, thank you.
Councillor Gould, please. Thank you very much. Go back to the leader. Councillor Wise, you reserved your right.
Very happy to second and move to the vote. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Councillor Tim Gibson, like to sum up?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. It is done. Thank you.
Thank you. We will now vote on the recommendation. All those in favour, please show. All those against? 2. Thank you. Any abstentions? 3. Recommendation is carried. Yeah. Members, we were due to... We're withdrawing the waiver that was put on the agenda. That has been withdrawn, so we don't need to debate it. I think we are now at the point of closing the meeting, but before we all dash out the door, I'd like to advise members that chairs and vice chairs of committees will be elected, so please can you remain seated. I therefore close the meeting at 9:30. Thank you.
Questions? Okay, so the members of the Planning Committee, could the following members please stand? Councillors Baldock, Brawn, Booth, Kavanagh, Chapman, Simon Clark, Golding, Hunt, Jays, MacDonald, Marchington, Ben J. Martin, C. Martin, Speed, P. Stephen, Thompson and Winkless. Do I have any nominations for chair? Councillor Hunt.
I propose Councillor Andy Booth.
Do I have a seconder? Councillor Marchington. Do I have any other nominations?
Yeah, I propose Councillor Jays.
Do I have a seconder?
Madam Mayor, can we Madam Chief Executive, can we have a recorded vote, please?
Seconded.
Yeah. Okay. Those in favour of, so this is for Councillor Booth first, so it's 4 against or abstain. So Councillor Baldock.
Against.
Councillor Brawn.
4.
Councillor Booth. 4. Councillor Kavanagh.
4.
Councillor Chapman. 4. Councillor S. Clark.
4.
Councillor Golding. 4. Councillor Hunt.
4.
Councillor Jays.
Against.
Councillor MacDonald.
Against.
Councillor Marchington. 4. Councillor Ben J. Martin.
Abstain.
Councillor C. Martin.
For.
Councillor Speed.
For.
Councillor Peace-Stevens.
Against.
Okay, and then for Councillor Baldock, Councillor Days, Councillor Baldock.
For.
I didn't ask Councillor Thompson, I'm so sorry. Councillor Thompson, against, right. For Councillor Days, Councillor Baldock.
For.
Councillor Braun.
Against.
Councillor Booth.
Against.
Councillor Kavanagh.
Against.
Councillor Chapman. Against. Councillor S. Clark.
Against.
Against.
For.
For.
Abstain.
Against.
Against.
Councillor Peace-Stevens.
For.
Councillor
Against.
Yeah, thank you, Chief Executive, and thank you for those members that place their confidence in me to chair Swale Borough Council Planning Committee. I formally close the Planning Committee meeting.
Vice Chair.
Oh, I beg your pardon. I'd like to propose Vice Chairman, please, Councillor Simon Clark.
I'll second that.
I beg your pardon.
As the chair of the committee, you do the vote. So, but you do because you're now the chair, I don't have anything to do with it.
I'll happily do that, thank you.
Would you like me to do the names?
If you would
for
read out the roll call, thank you.
So who is it for? Sorry, Councillor.
This is proposal for Councillor Simon Clark to be Vice Chairman.
Are there any other nominations? Yes?
Councillor Jays.
Okay. So the same thing, it will be those...
Recorded vote, please.
Just like to wait one moment, Councillor. Okay, so this is for Councillor Clark, Simon Clark, Councillor Baldock.
Against.
Councillor Braun.
For.
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 Against.
Against.
Councillor Marchington. Councillor Ben J. Martin.
For.
Abstain.
For. Against.
Councillor Thompson.
For.
For.
Against.
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 For.
For. For.
Councillor C. Martin.
For.
Against.
Councillor Paul Stevens.
For.
Councillor
Against.
Chief Executive, thank you for that vote, and again I appreciate and echo the sentiments for the vote for Councillor Simon Clark to be Vice Chairman of the Planning Committee. Thank you. That then closes this Planning Committee meeting. Thank you, Chief Executive.
Okay, could the following members of the new Housing, Health and Communities, whatever, stand up? That's Councillors Bowen, Councillors Braun, Councillor Kavanagh, Councillor Carnell, Councillor Gould, Councillor Golding, Councillor Harrison, Councillor Marchington, Councillor Neal, Councillor Nundy, Councillor Pollard, Councillor Ben J. Martin, Councillor Perkin, Councillor MacDonald, Councillor Watson. Do I have any apologies and substitutes?
Sorry, can I say which committee this was for?
Housing, it's a substitute for Councillor Bowen. Do we have any substitutes?
Yeah, I'm substitute.
Okay, thank you. Do I have any nominations for chair?
I'd like to nominate Councillor Hannah Perkin.
And do I have a seconder? Okay, Councillor Pollard. Do I have any other nominations? All those in favour?
Aye.
Anyone's against? Any abstentions? Councillor Perkin, you've been nominated.
Yeah, thank you to all those that have put their faith in me. I will work really, really hard to make it as good as it can possibly be. So I'd like to nominate from the chair, if that's okay, Councillor Harrison to be Deputy Chair of the Housing, Health and Communities Committee.
I'll second that.
Lovely. In which case I will call a vote. So Councillor Braun, obviously, fine. Oh, any other nominations? Apologies. Okay. Councillor Braun. Oh yeah, just straight. Fine. All agreed. Apologies, I don't even know whether we had to do a recorded vote anyway. Any against? Any abstentions? Lovely, I'll draw the meeting to a close. Thank you.
Thank you. Can members of the Urgent Decisions Committee stand, please? Councillors Baldock, Bowen, Tim Gibson, Hunt, Richard Palmer, Perkin and Wise. Do I have any apologies and any substitutes?
I will substitute for Councillor Bowen.
Councillor Speed substituting for Councillor Perkin. Any? Thank you. Bowen, sorry. Councillor Perkin standing right in front of me. Apologies. Do I have any nominations for chair?
Nominate Tim Gibson.
Okay, do I have a seconder for that? Councillor Perkin. Do I have any other nominations? Okay, all those in favour? 1, 2, 3. All those in favour? Anyone against? Any abstentions? To you to do. You've been duly elected, and you could do the vice chair.
Thank you very much. Do I have any nominations for vice chair, please?
Yes, Chairman, I'd like to nominate Councillor Bowen, please.
Thank you.
Happy to second.
Okay, are there any other nominations? Councillor Baldock?
Councillor Wise.
Okay, so we've just got the one nomination, and it's for Councillor Bowen. Are those in favour? Oh, yeah, it has been seconded by Councillor Hunt. Yeah. Those in favour? Yeah. Those against? Okay, that's carried, and I duly close the meeting.
Okay, could the members of Economy and Property please stand? That's Councillors Bonney, Braun, Kavanagh, S. Clark, Eyre, Last, Marchington, Mishuk, Moore, Pollard, Stephen, Thompson, Tucker, Wise. And, sorry, and Richard Palmer. Who knew? Okay, do I have any nominations for chair?
Yes.
Councillor.
Yeah, can I nominate Monique Bonney, Councillor Bonney?
Do I have any seconder?
Sorry, Larissa. Sorry, I just had to say that I'm substitute for Mark Tucker.
Thank you, another year. Thank you. Do I have any nominations?
I'll propose Ashley Wise.
I'll second that.
Thank you very much. Do I have any other nominations? So I can nominate for the chair, so Okay, let's go to the vote. So, first one is Councillor Wise. So, if you show of hands.
You can get boxed by the bill.
Okay, thank you. And we'll take now votes for Councillor Stevens, please. Thank you. Councillor Wise is duly nominated. Thank you.
The members of the committee with the new name that was Environment and Climate Change Committee, please give the following councillors stand. Councillors Eyre, Jackson, Jays, Marchington, Miller, C. Martin, Neil, Palmer, Shield, Speed, Paul Stevens, Sarah Stephen, Wise and Worcester. Do I have any apologies and substitutes? Councillor
Apologies, no, I'll be substituting for Councillor Lehman.
Thank you. Do I have any nominations for chair, please?
I'd like to nominate Councillor Worcester.
Sorry, Chief. Reform, I think.
Thank you very much, and thank you for everybody that voted. That was very kind of you. I'd like to now take nominations for Deputy Chair, and I'll nominate from the Chair for Councillor Elliot Jays. Are there any other nominations? Officers, I can't really see from my vantage point, so you'll have to help me out here, I'm afraid. So we only have one nomination. All in favour? Again, I can't see. Unanimous, lovely. Okay, hands down. Any objections? Any against? Any abstentions? No? Okie dokie, that's Councillor Jays.
Councillor Worcester, you didn't vote.
Oh, goodness. I vote in favour of Councillor Jays. Lovely. Well done, Councillor Jays. That's you duly elected. Congratulations. I here close the first meeting of the would have been Environment, Climate Change. We will get there.
We're almost there, members. Can members of the Eastern Area Committee please stand? Councillors Bowen, Eyre, Gibson, Gould, Golding, Jackson, Lehman, Ben Martin, C. Martin, Perkins, Speed and Thompson. Do I have any nominations for chair, please? Councillor Gibson.
I'd like to nominate my excellent Deputy Chair, Ben Martin.
Okay. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Perkin. Do I have any other nominations? All those in favour of Councillor Martin, please show. Those against, please show. Any abstentions? Councillor Martin.
Thank you, Eastern Area Committee. Are there any nominations for Vice Chair? Don't all jump up once. Councillor Perkin.
I'd like to nominate Councillor Charles Gibson.
Is there a seconder? Thank you, Councillor Thompson. Any other nominations? Wonderful. All those in favour of Councillor Gibson taking the Vice Chair? Anyone against? Any abstentions? That's unanimous. Thank you, members, and that's all to a close.
Could members of the Sheppey Area Committee please stand up? That's Councillors Booth, Braun, Harrison, Jays, MacDonald, Marchington, Moore, Neal, Noy, Nundy, Shield, Tucker, Whiting and Worcester. Do I have any nominations for chair? Councillor Boot.
Yeah, thank you, Chief Exec. Nominate Councillor Mark Tucker as chairman, please.
I'll second that.
I nominate Councillor Jays.
I'll second that. Thank you.
Point of order. Would the previous chair not have the casting vote as according to the Constitution, where a mayor would take the casting vote if they were not re-elected in the next year? Okay. As all rules to the council apply to committees or majority.
So, yes, the previous chair has the casting vote. Would the previous chair please like to cast their vote? Thank you.
Thank you. I will cast the tie break vote in myself. Thank you. And I now seek nominations for the vice chair. Councillor Nundy, please.
I would like to nominate Councillor Worcester.
Is there any other nominations? No, in that case, I do declare that the vice chair for the civic year is Councillor Worcester. Oh, we've got a vote. All those in favour, please show. Against? Abstentions? And I declare again that Councillor Worcester is elected for the civic year, and I close the meeting at 21:49. Thank you.
Okay, could members of the Sittingbourne Area Committee please stand? Councillors Carnell, Cheeseman, Simon Clark, Tim Gibson, Last, Miller, Mishuk, Pollard, Watson, Winkless, Wise. Do I have any nominations for chair, please?
I propose Councillor Wise to be chair of the Sittingbourne Area Committee.
Okay, so that's Councillor Wise seconded. Do I have any other nominations? All of those in favour, please show. Any against? Any abstentions? Councillor Wise has been elected. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Can I take nominations for Vice Chair of Sittingbourne Area Committee, please? Councillor Miller? Is there a seconder for Councillor Last, please?
I'll second that.
Are there any other proposals for Vice Chair? Okay, all those in favour of Councillor Last? Any against? Any abstentions? Councillor Last is elected and I close the Sittingbourne Area Committee. Thank you.
Members of the Western Area Committee, please. Councillors Baldock, Bonney, Kavanagh, Chapman, R. Clark, Hunt, Chris Palmer, Richard Palmer, Paul Stevens, Sarah Stephen. Do I have do I have any nominations for chair?
I nominate Councillor Paul Stephen.
Do I have a seconder? Councillor Bonney. Do I have any other nominations? All those in favour, please raise. 1, 2, 3. Any against? Any abstentions? That's carried. Over to you, Councillor Stephen.
Thank you. I'd now like to ask for nominations for Vice Chair of Western Area Committee.
I nominate Councillor Sarah Stephen.
And I'll second that. I'll second that.
can I nominate Councillor Sarah Stephen?
Done. Oh, right, I missed it. Oh, I couldn't hear it, yes.
Tired, it's been a long night. It's all right.
Right, can we go to the... are there any other nominations? No? Okay, can we go to the vote then? Those in favour of Sarah Stephen being Vice Chair? Oh yeah, I'll vote for it as well.
He did that last time, didn't he?
Okay, okay, those against? Any abstentions? I declare...
Could the members of the Audit Committee please stand? Councillors Booth, Carnell, Simon Clark, Charles Gibson, Harrison, Mishuk, Noy, Thompson, Worcester. Do I have any nominations for Chair, please?
I nominate Councillor Charles Gibson.
Do I have a seconder? Charles Gibson. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Mishuk. Do I have any other nominations? Those in favour of Councillor Gibson, please show. Any against? Any abstentions? That's unanimous. Over to you, Councillor Gibson.
Thank you very much, Chief Exec, and thank you very much, members, particularly Councillor Clark, for your sterling work over the past few years on this committee. I'd like to open nominations for Deputy Chair, and I will start by nominating Councillor Clark for Deputy. Are there any other nominations and a seconder?
Happy to second.
Thank you, Councillor Worcester. If there's nobody else, can I have those in favour of Councillor Clark, please? I think that's unanimous, but those against? Any abstentions? Thank you very much. Councillor Clark is duly elected. I'm sure will be a very firm deputy, keeping me on the straight and narrow going forward. So I close the meeting at 9:53 p.m.
Could the members of the Standards Committee please stand? Councillors Bonney, Harrison, Hunt, Last, Lehman, Miller, Neal, Nundy, Richard Palmer, Perkin, Wise.
And apologies from Councillor Lehman, I'm substituting.
Thank you very much, Councillor Gould. Do I have any nominations for Chair, please?
I'd propose Councillor Harrison, please.
Okay, Councillor Perkin got it just before you. So we've got Councillor Harrison. Do I have any other chairs, please? Those in favour, please raise. Councillor Harrison. We've had no others. Those in favour, please raise. Anyone against? Any abstentions? That's carried over to you, Councillor.
Thank you very much, Chief Exec. Perhaps now I can get the taser. Okay. Can I have nominations for Vice Chair of the Standards Committee, please?
Yes, I'd like to nominate even, can't get it out, it's too tiring, Councillor Nundy.
Any seconded? Any other nominations?
I'd like to nominate Councillor Hunt.
Any other nominations? Was that you're going to kill somebody?
No, I was just looking forward to my taser as well.
Good. Okay, no other nominations, so we'll start with Councillor Nundy. All those in favour of Councillor Nundy, please put your hand up. Thank you. All those... Well, let's do this easy. All those in favour of Councillor Hunt, please show. Okay. Anybody didn't vote at all in that one complete abstention? Okay. Councillor Hunt, you're the Vice Chair of the Standards Committee. Close the meeting.
This is the last one. Members, Licensing Committee. Could the following members please stand? Councillors Carnell, Chapman, Simon Clark, Eyre, Hunt, Jackson, Last, Lehman, Miller, Moore, Noy, Chris Palmer, Paul Stevens, Tucker and Winkless. Do I have any substitutes?
Yes, Chief Executive, I'm substituting for Councillor Tucker.
Councillor Lehman.
I propose Derek Carnell. Carnell.
Sorry, Councillor Winkles and Councillor Stephen. Do I have any other nominations? Those in favour of Councillor Carnell, please show. Those against? Any abstentions? That's unanimous. Councillor Carnell, over to you.
Thank you, Chief Exec. Could I have any nominations for Vice Chair?
Could I nominate Councillor Tony Winkles?
Any other nominations? Oh, sorry, a seconder. Thank you. It's been a long night. So, any other nominations? Right, can we have a vote on that? All those in favour?
Unanimous, but any against?
Any against?
Any abstentions?
Any abstentions? And now I close the meeting at nearly 10 o'clock. And Tony Winkles is the Vice Chair. Thank you very much. Oh, I didn't expect that.